Hi everybody, this is a variant of the Fire-Lite BG12 fire alarm pull station. We've all seen these, and I'm pretty sure these are at the point where they're probably one of the most common fire alarm pull stations you've probably seen. I really like them personally. They look really great. They're simple, yet they're just, I don't know, there's just something lovely about them. Not as ubiquitous as the Simplex T-Bar, but pretty darn close. And of course we have a couple of different variants of this, such as the Halon release. And we've even gotten to the point where China has really quite cleverly copied one of these. Well, I don't know if I want to say clever, but they've done actually a remarkable job at copying how these work. Some ways more than other, but it's really quite impressive to an extent. Maybe not so much that it's quite literally just copying this, but you know what? I guess it's better than something that looks hideously cheap. However, we talked about variants. Like I said, the only one you really see is this and the Halon release version. Really not much else out there. However, check out one that's relatively new on the block. You might have actually seen this before, but this is my first time getting my hands on one. That's right, it is the BluePoint police station. Now, one thing that notably differs from the Chinese one is this one was very much likely created or built. As a matter of fact, I would be very surprised if it wasn't built by the same people who build these, whether it be Fire-Lite or somebody else. I have a feeling it's not actually Fire-Lite that makes these. Let's just take a look at it, because I just thought it was so interesting how similar and yet so different this is from a regular BG12. So first off, the key is a 1347, which is a Silent Night key. That's Silent Night. And yeah, what's interesting is this is, as you can hear, this is actually raised, this police labeling, but it appears to be some sort of a label that's gone over the main part of the alarm. As you can see, this is a recessed type plastic, whereas this one, you can actually see quite well where the label definitely is. If it wasn't for the fact that I didn't want to ruin this, I would have pulled it off by now to see what was underneath. It would be really funny if it was actually, there was an indent for it to say fire underneath this. But yeah, so this very specific blue color, which appears to be BluePoint's logo. Everything of theirs seems to be blue, including their website. If we look on the back, this is the date code. It actually is not too old relative to the time of this video compared to something like this, which is, at this point, quite a bit older. Yeah, I mean, I'm just, it's really quite amazing how long this fire alarm pull station's been in, this particular design's been in production. However, let's go ahead and take a look inside, and you'll be just as surprised as I was when actually, I'll tell you what, let's pull it first, just to say that we did that. However, you'll be probably just as surprised as I am when I open this to realize this actually has some sort of a wireless logic inside. So it's apparently designed to run wirelessly, which actually makes quite a bit of sense. Something like this probably would be implemented quite a bit after the building itself was built where it is. And running new wires for something like a fire alarm is not easy. Granted, this definitely would not be using, need to use FPL cable, but it still wouldn't be very easy to run this. As a matter of fact, I didn't notice this when I first opened it, but wow, and I didn't even notice that. You could tell where they actually snipped the wires off, and what looked like used what looks like a soldering iron to just make a hole in the plastic, and then in there. I didn't actually notice this until just now, that you can actually see that they just snipped it off. So it was, I guess it was shipped to BluePoint or whoever manufactured this with the wires attached, and they just snipped it off and sent the wires inside. Oh, I didn't even show you this. Here's the box that it came in. Unfortunately, the post office did crinkle a little bit, but of course it very similar to a BG12 box. I imagine it probably was the exact same box. They just replaced this label up here. Anyways, so one thing that I did notice is that this circuit board actually covers the top hole if you're mounting using this screw configuration. So you'd have to use these like a square box, or I believe they actually do sell a box that is actually designed to fit this perfectly, so I imagine that's what they expect you to use. What's also very interesting is this actually has a tamper switch, so it detects if somebody's opened the pull station. And of course, we have a CR123A battery installed. And this is how they prevented it from running prematurely. It looks like they snipped up part of a, somebody probably hand snipped part of a anti-static bag, just slipped it in there. And that's how to prevent it from being energized before it's time to shine. Being that this battery is the same as pretty much every wireless security system, that is going to be quite useful to not be in here. So I'm going to take that out. But yeah, let's see if we can take out the circuit board and see what lies underneath. So I did actually take off the this top board right here, which looks like this is the wireless control board. Not sure how it actually operates, maybe over some sort of Wi-Fi or LoRaWAN, something like that. O/N. Anyways, this is the inside of the main circuit board where the switch attaches to, which quite literally looks like it's just setting power. This switch is the switch for this is communications, as well as these two switches. Oh, that's a reset switch right there. And in there is the BluePoint logo, so it looks like this was designed by them, whereas this, oh, there's actually a date in there, 7/11/23. I really hope they went and got some Slurpees that day. Was made by a company called Innovonics. Made in Mexico, which doesn't differ quite drastically from this, because these were also made in Mexico. And as you can see, they reused the hooks designed to hold the addressable module in, to hold the circuit board. I do wonder if it'd be funny if there actually was a label underneath. Let me see if I can get this off. And check that out. There actually is a label underneath. I wonder if this was actually sold in a wired and a wireless variant, and this just happened to be a wireless variant. It just doesn't make sense that they would make a label just for it to be covered by this. It's the exact same type of label as this, so it really does make me wonder how much engineering went into this by Fire-Lite and how much of this went in by BluePoint, because as you can see, the whole wire snipping on the back thing and the cover over this really makes me suggest that Fire-Lite didn't really do much to accommodate them, except for, of course, changing the color, but also just feels like they did. It's so weird. Just so weird. But yeah, it looks like this was, what, SSD, maybe that's who made it. I don't know the whole story behind the whole SSD and PTI thing, or PDI thing. Sure, plenty of people do, but I just don't. And yeah, there's our missing holes that were covered by this. Okay, so that must be the model number for this board right here. But yeah, I really do guess that's just about it. There's really not much else to see other than that. So, well, thank you very much for watching. If you happen to have one of these, let us know. Or if you have the medical version, which is slightly green. Not entirely green, but slightly green. Also let us know. Otherwise, that will be it.